We have
Welcome to the weekend, everybody. Let's get it going with NBA action on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan, joined by my colleagues Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. We'll see Cleveland facing Minnesota.
ready, gentlemen. Ready.
So Cleveland will get the first possession. Look at Cleveland's starting group. They've got him on Shumpert. Thompson is out there with Kevin Love. Then it's LeBron James. And it's Thomas in at the 1. Now here's Shumpert. Isaiah Thomas unable to get his last shot to go. And the dunk by Love.
And then the young fella busts out the slick move inside to get open for the jam.
Greg, that was sick and slick. The D had no chance.
Yeah, he was one step ahead of him the entire way.
And so it's Minnesota with it, following the score by Cleveland. Teague drives in. Shot's good.
How about the way he's able to angle his body to shield the big fella off and still get the finish?
You've got to be clever with your sleight of hand when you get inside and try to finish against the bigger guys. And he made it look easy that time.
Last year, a good one for Jeff Teague, Clark. He was a first-time All-Star in this league.
He's a pick-and-roll technician, so good in reading the defense as he operates from that spot on the floor. He was really the catalyst for what was a really efficient offense for the Hawks.
And the dunk by Towns.
Solid work on the back end of that play.
Yeah, finished hard with two hands on the stuff.
Yeah, nothing extravagant, guys, but again, no need on that one.
Now here's LeBron. He's coming off a 16-point game. Against Washington.
Nobody even close to him, and he can't believe he doesn't knock it down.
Here's T. From 17 feet out. Good D by Thomas.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
And really deep through that time. 7 points for Kevin Love.
And a really good way to start the game. He's a guy who, if he gets it going early, he's going to give you problems.
And Gibson kicks to Butler. Teague against Thomas. 6 to shoot. Fires, high post. That doesn't go in either for Teague. For Cleveland, they've gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. And they're moving it up. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down. Teague's got 5 points so far.
Clearly, he's one of the best there is in the business when it comes to making that lead pass.
Here's Thomas, and fouled hard that time. No, get to the line and shot two. It's on Jeff Teague.
And Isaiah Thomas traded last season from Phoenix over to Boston. Seemed to be a matter of fit and not production as to why they moved him.
Smith checked in for Cleveland. Both free throws good from Isaiah Thomas. Greg, you were talking about Isaiah Thomas. He had no love lost for the Suns in their first meeting. He took them apart, Clark, on the floor. Remember that game? Stared them down as he was hitting shots. Looked at that bench, man. He had a big chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, and you know, most guys that are a little undersized and have battled doubters all their careers bring that kind of edge anyway. You throw in the fact that he was disappointed how the trade unfolded. He was amped up and ready for that return visit.
No good on the second free throw.
You know, Jimmy Butler is one of those guys who had to overcome major odds just to get to the NBA. Reportedly, his father abandoned the family when Jimmy was an infant. Mom kicked Jimmy out when he was 13. The obstacles and adversity go on, yet he's made it and made it big.
And Love gets it to go.
I don't think you can say enough about the quarter he's having. Every one of his attempts has gone down.
Minnesota trails by 3. T kicks to Gibson. Dishes to Wiggins. Another miss by Minnesota. And going back to Jimmy Butler, there were just so many times when he was set up to fail. He was not heavily recruited out of high school. He was even homeless when he was in high school in the Houston area. Went to a junior college, then Marquette, now in the NBA. So he played his freshman year at a junior college, which I think humbled him just a bit, but maybe gave him that work ethic that is so much, Greg, a part of his game now.
And Kevin, the talent was there. And most of all, as we see how he dealt with adversity, the heart was there. He blocked out the distractions and finally transferred to a major college and worked his way into becoming a first-round pick. Just reliable, guys. He's just always trying to make the right play.
Thomas against T. Thomas dishes to James. LeBron is doubled. No one near Smith as he lets it go. Off target from three-point range. So for Cleveland, their last game, a win against the Washington Wizards.
And the deciding factor in that one was their success from the floor. I mean, they just hit big shots time and time again.
Yeah, just the way you want it when you're the road team. Don't even give the fans a chance to get into it.
Towns with the steal. Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
Here's Teague, and there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. Just watch Jeff Teague. He's a natural scorer. Clark, he's also made steady improvement as a playmaker.
Yeah, you look at his assist rate, Kevin, well in the top 10 in the league. He's cut down on his turnovers as well. You can tell he's starting to really figure it out, and the game is slowing down for him.
Here's what Minnesota's going with right now. Gorgie Dangs checked in for Gibson. Shabazz Muhammad comes in for Butler. And it's Crawford in for Wiggins. Channing Frye's checked in for Cleveland. Rose comes in for Isaiah Thomas. Now here's Rose. 14 points from him the last game against the Wizards in Washington.
And Teague's also athletic. You know, sometimes you forget that. I mean, this guy's got the tools also to be a terrific defender. And I still think he's developing consistency at that end of the floor.
LeBron passes to Rose. Jeff Teague with the rebound.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
Beyond the arc. Kept alive, Minnesota tries again, and Towns gets it to go.
His hard work on the backboard really just has given them more opportunities to score.
Teague against Rose. 15 seconds left in the first quarter. It's tipped. Towns with the steal. Outside Teague. Three-pointer. The shot is off. Grimes. The shot is off.
Ladies and gentlemen, James team.
And of course, as we've always seen with LeBron James, it's not just about the numbers, but his tremendous, tremendous leadership.
I put all the pressure on me to be better and come through for my teammates. This is the position I put myself in. It's the position I put our team in, and as the leader and the guy that goes out there and make things happen.
Well, that there is straight talk from a man who does not pretend. LeBron James are the textbook example how to take responsibility and lead.
And Kevin, that's why he is the king. He doesn't say, hey, I'm just one of the five guys. No, he knows who he is and what he has to do. Bottom line, he's the man. Climb on my shoulders, and I'm going to take you to the promised land.
Welcome back, folks. We have a close game here at the start of the second quarter of play. And from what you guys have seen so far from Cleveland, what's your take?
Just the way they've been able to pound that backboard. I think that's been the difference.
Establishment of a good low post presence, a big part of the success.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. So on the floor for Minnesota, Brooks out there with Crawford. Then there's Towns. Then it's Gorgie Dang. And it's Muhammad in at the three slot. Crawford with the ball. Now Smith defending. Crawford drives in. And the rejection by LeBron. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by James. Some changes for Minnesota. Taj Gibson's checked in for Towns. And it's Butler in for Muhammad.
Jimmy Butler.
And we're about a minute into the second quarter of play. Offensive rebound. Shot's good by Gibson.
Those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten in the first half here.
And I think they should continue to work the ball down low, Clark. It's really going to free up their outside shooting.
And the dunk by Love.
And guys, right now, the defense mentally not there. Can't afford too many of those in a close game like this.
Yeah, Jay, you're right. Almost a free run, don't you think? Clark to the hoop for him there.
Momentum can swing on plays like that, Kevin, especially when the finish has that much thunder on it.
Here's Butler following the score by Cleveland. Jang, no luck. To the inside, Crawford with the steal. Here's Brooks. Good D from Love.
And you saw how quick the defense was. They were ready for him. They got the hand in the face there and made that much more difficult.
Yeah, and every team needs that kind of rugged interior defense. Because you want to try to distract your opponents when they get inside, and you also want to make them uncomfortable in their shot attempts.
Now here's Crawford after LeBron James's miss. Up the floor and finished off by Rose.
Well, they weren't going to pass up that chance to get out and run following the steal.
They better not. I mean, they've got to pad their lead anytime an opportunity presents itself, and that was a golden.
Well, LeBron had kind of a... slow start to his season has returned to Cleveland last year.
Yeah, he got off to a bit of a slow start. He had some nagging type injuries, but things turned around and LeBron was eventually able to get the clubhouse atmosphere where he wanted.
Minnesota making a switch here. Wiggins is checked in.
And that atmosphere that LeBron was after, I mean, he described it as wanting a family-like atmosphere. And to touch on the Cleveland atmosphere, you know, you could see as the season unfolded, it became a big part of what LeBron was able to accomplish in Miami, starting to work itself into that roster.
Richard Jefferson, he's checked in for Cleveland. Shumpert comes in for Smith.
Tell you what, he can do a lot more damage to that rim than that when he wants to.
And you know, Clark, with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
Me too.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad he didn't, because otherwise we'd probably have a 45-minute delay here if he shattered the backboard.
And Minnesota has possession following the score by Cleveland. Brooks misses.
They're really getting the work done inside with their rebound.
The defensive backboard has been controlled. They have not allowed a lot of second chances. It's been about one and done for the most part. And I'm not talking about leaving count.
Yeah, I know you're not. That's a bunch of good rebounding taking place there, boy.
And so it's Minnesota with it. They trail by 6. This game against Cleveland is the first time they've met this season.
And in a conference game here, just a 2-game season series.
Yeah, you know, you want to make every game count. Take care of business and give yourself a chance to sweep.
And here we go. Shumpert running it up the court. Crowder kicks to Rose. Rose with another miss. Looking at Minnesota, they took the win in their last game against the Denver Nuggets.
And the way they attacked the basket in that game was unreal. I mean, after a while, the defenders seemed to just wave the white flag.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, that's what will happen when a team continues to attack the basket and come away with layups. The defense tends to get demoralized and deflated.
Here is Rose. Aaron Brooks picking up that last basket. That's another miss, number 4. He's 2 for 6 shooting.
Well, you know, they're in the lead, but he's still been frustrated from an offensive standpoint.
Wiggins drives in, and there's the call on Jefferson.
Another foul would give him 3 before the half. Something to keep an eye on, guys.
Some changes for Minnesota. Towns comes in for Taj Gibson. And it's Teague in for Brooks. And Cleveland also making a change. Thomas checked in for Rose. Towns with it. Working on Fry. Towns, no luck.
Usually if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there.
Shumpert dishes to Jefferson. Once again off the mark by Cleveland. Minnesota trails by 4. Teague kicks to Towns. Wiggins passes to Teague. 1:32 left in the second quarter. Shot clock at 6. And Channing Frye gets the whistle that time. And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown. Here for Cleveland.
You know what, guys? It looks to me like they're really in sync here, all on the same page. They've already got a bunch of assists.
And also, it's been a positive to watch that they've attacked the paint offensively as well. It's really been about the balance that they've shown.
Muhammad, he's checked in for Minnesota. Thompson, he's checked in for Cleveland. Wiggins with the block. Feeds it to Towns. Crowder with the steal. Now Cleveland moving it up. Here's Jefferson. Ball's knocked loose. 54 seconds left in the second quarter. Here's Muhammad. And Jefferson sends it back. Shumpert dishes to Jefferson. Thompson left side. Kicks it to Shumpert. Thompson passes to Shumpert. Cleveland moving it around. The screen from Thompson. Tries to snap the cold streak. And it's in off the backboard. Crowder's got his first basket.
How about the screen that frees him up, though, for the jumper?
About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. Teague against Thomas. Teague drives in. And it's good. He's planted his feet on the pick and shielded the defender off.
They're scoring boatloads of buckets. It's raining buckets from inside.
Well, the defensive rotations, Greg, have been a step slow, and it's really helped them get that ball inside time after time.
There's Thomas with the 3. No good, trying to beat the buzzer. And the first half comes to a close. We've got a close game going.
Hi, Kevin. I'm here with...
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, this has been a good game here after one half. Everybody, welcome back to the halftime show. Ernie Johnson, Shaq, Kenny Smith. There was no slowing down Kevin Love early on. He had 11 points and 3 rebounds. And Kenny, what'd you see from Cleveland?
You know what jumps out at me? Their efficiency on the offensive end. They shared.
And that's it for halftime as the second half is just about to get underway. See you after the game.
The third. Third quarter now beginning. Both sides looking to pull away in the last half of the game. Kevin Love really has his fingerprints all over this one.
Yeah, he's played just a smart game overall offensively, looking for and finding the gaps in the defense, and also terrific shots.
Greg, that's exactly what we're talking about when we talk about being efficient as an offensive player. Fully on display there with him.
On the court for Cleveland, Jefferson out there with Tristan Thompson. Then there's Amon Shumpert. Then it's Isaiah Thomas, and it's Crowder in at the 3. Now here's Thompson. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Gibson with the steal. Here's Wiggins, and unable there to get the go-ahead bucket.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
And, Greg, we've seen it time and time again in games. Effort and determination on the glass can make up for a lot of other weaknesses.
Now Teague, after a Monjumper missed from long range. Teague. And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot 2. He is 3 for 3 from the free throw line.
And that 82% free throw percentage this season must have him feeling pretty good about himself at the line.
You know, guys, that's not quite the same success rate he had at the line last year, although it is somewhat in the neighborhood of last year's numbers.
Catching up on the changes for Cleveland. Kevin Love's checked in for Jefferson, and Smith subbed in for Shumpert. Here's Wiggins. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. And Minnesota leads by 4.
And it doesn't really matter who starts the break with how he runs the floor. He seems to always be the one who finishes.
Yeah, he is so fun to watch and how he attacks the rim at full speed like that, man. It's something to behold the way that guy gets to the rim.
And guys, as much as Isaiah Thomas can help you on offense, at times he can hurt you on the defensive side. Immediately posted up by whomever he's guarding, you have to give help. And, of course, that leaves your defense vulnerable, particularly on the weak side and controlling that defensive backboard.
Jamal Crawford, he's checked in for Minnesota. Brooks comes in for Jeff Teague. And then for Cleveland, James comes in for Crowder. And Derrick Rose is subbed in for Thomas. And he gets it to go. Towns has got the lead up to 4 now for Minnesota.
He's played an important role in their offense today, guys. Without him, they may not be in the lead.
Rose in the post. Brooks covering. On, here we go. Crawford all alone. And that one's good. Butler's got 5 now.
Really a heads-up play on both ends there. The steal and the quick push on the break.
Rapid-fire basketball at its best. Boom, 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 bang. You got to love the big bucket in the paint in this sort of grinded-out physical game.
That's the kind of look they can continue to go with. Maybe that'll help them create some separation on the scoreboard.
Crawford, no luck.
Hey, they got the shot they wanted off of that pick, but it just doesn't fall.
Yeah, it didn't go down, but you'll take that shot every single time, Greg. That's good offense.
The shot is off. Smith with some nice D. Cleveland trails by 4. Puts up the baby hook. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for 1 more.
You always hear about chemistry. That's a perfect example, knowing where each other is at all times.
Derrick Rose has certainly piled up the awards for such a young player, starting with Rookie of the Year, the 111 first-place votes to only 5 for the runner-up. You know about his MVP, and that just shines out so brightly for him.
And how about he and Michael Jordan, the only MVPs in Chicago Bulls history?
Here's Thompson, following the score by Jamal Crawford. Smith kicks to Love. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. That one is on Towns.
You know, looking back to Rose's MVP award, his stats were on another planet that year. He was only the 3rd player to report 2,000 points and 600 assists in a single season since 1973. The other 2, LeBron James and Michael Jordan.
Here's what Minnesota's going with right now. Zhang comes in for Taj Gibson. And it's Muhammad in for Butler. And Towns gets it to go.
And it looks like they left their defensive effort back in the locker room, guys. They just haven't had the same commitment here defensively in the second half.
Now, here is Smith. He gives his team some nice contributions, averaging a bit over 10 points a game. A shot by Thompson, and no one's around. That 3 off the mark.
You know, in talking about D-Rose, I don't think the individual awards mean much to him. He's about trying to help his team win championships. And that's the kind of mindset he has to continue to display. And you like to see since the half now, he's finally starting to come around.
1:58 left in the 3rd quarter. Cleveland trails by 7. Moment here now for an injury report. Let's get a Doris Burke update on the injury to Crawford. Doris?
Hey guys, I got an update from the head trainer for Minnesota. He told me that after taking a look at him, it's thankfully just a sore wrist. The schedule becomes a real grind at this time of the year, and that injury is only going to make things harder on this team. Guys,
Thank you, Doris. Boy, you always hate to see anyone ever deal with any sort of injury.
And almost for every player, it's inevitable. I mean, injuries are going to happen no matter how well you take care of yourself.
And let's just hope the rehab process doesn't drag on any longer than it has to.
Here's Brooks following the score by Cleveland. 1:09 left in the third quarter. Unloads from 13, and the shot is good. Brooks has got his second bucket tonight.
They've got the lead despite pretty cold shooting from the field in the first half, and now they're beginning to find their groove.
Heating up and looking to build on that lead.
Now here is Smith, and Tristan Thompson gets the whistle that time. That's foul number 2 for him.
That shot becomes effortless for him when the D is so relaxed. They've got to get more intense.
Some changes for Minnesota. Andrew Wiggins, he's checked in for Crawford. And it's Teague in for Brooks. And then for Cleveland, Clutch, he's checked in for Tristan Thompson. Shumpert comes in for J.R. Smith. And it's Isaiah Thomas in for Derrick Rose. And Teague, here we go. Wiggins from outside. Shumpert with some nice D. Cleveland's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Left side, Thomas. That's a pick by Love. For the lead. Thomas, no good. Muhammad. 3 quarters of play in a close game here. Minnesota on top, up by 2. And coming up as soon as we return from break, the fourth quarter gets underway. All right, we welcome you back to what's been a hard-fought battle. Fourth quarter should be good. Well, Cleveland shooting inefficient, 53% from the field. They've got Towns. Teague out there with Andrew Wiggins. And there's Jimmy Butler. And it's Gibson in at the power forward. So that's the lineup for Minnesota. Here's Wiggins. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Wiggins has got the first field goal of the fourth quarter here for Minnesota. Clutch the pass to LeBron. Here's Clutch, defended by Butler. Jeff Teague with the rebound. Minnesota leading by 4. Left side, Gibson. He kicks it to Wiggins. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. And it's Teague. That time on the assist by Wiggins. 14 points for Jeff Teague.
That's a layup for him. He's just too open.
From deep, Thomas. And another miss by Cleveland. Minnesota shooting in this game 45%. Ahead, Wiggins dishes to Butler. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line. And a breakdown here, guys. The hustle stats for Minnesota.
The activity level defensively, I've really been impressed with. They've been in attack mode on the defensive end.
Yeah, I think you also have to give them a lot of credit for how well they've risen up to meet shooters to challenge shots in this game. A lot of blocked shots tonight.
And Thomas, here we go. Free throw is good.
Looking at the game for Thomas, he has 8 points, and he's contributed 3 points from the line, too.
And those free throws add up, guys. That is extra offense.
Catching up on the changes for Cleveland. Green comes in for Kevin Love. And it's Crowder in for LeBron. Minnesota calls timeout.
Yeah, maybe a change of the game plan right now, looking at some different sets because of the matchups.
Yeah, I agree with you because they're looking to tweak things to maybe get those matchups working in their favor.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Well, Kevin, during that break, Minnesota's head coach had some words for his team. He said to them, the lead we've got now is nice, but I want to make it even nicer. This is when we put the hammer down. It doesn't look like he's ready to back off just yet, guys.
Fourth quarter now. We're about a minute and a half in. T kicks to Towns. It's rebounded by Cleveland. And they're off to Philadelphia after this game as they'll take on the 76ers. That will be the third of this 6-game road trip. Gibson with the steal. Now here comes Teague, leading the break. Butler passes to Teague. Wiggins outside. Lets it go from 13. And count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
And just a little bit ragged defensively there, Clark. Well, it didn't take long for us to see just how explosive Andrew Wiggins can be in the air. I mean, had a handful of huge dunks throughout the course of the season. He's going to make a lot of posters during his NBA career.
Now here's Crowder. Outside, Green. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Clutch. And good. Got the English that time as it falls.
I like the way they're working the ball inside because when you do that, you get higher percentage shots, and typically good things happen.
Well, Greg, you're right. It's clear to see with Wiggins. He is already fearless with his dunks. Clark, he'll go right at any big man with impunity and finish over him.
Yeah, and I think people knew he was a special dunker, but they didn't know how aggressive he would be in attacking the basket. That's where he surprised folks.
Jamal Crawford, he's checked in for Andrew Wiggins. Crawford, no one around him. And once again off the mark by Minnesota. They get it back. And Teague, here we go. Good on the shot. Teague's got the lead up to 11 now for Minnesota.
It seems that every pass they make is leading to a score here. I mean, that's just exquisite ball movement.
And that's because the ball is looking for the best shot, and it's really paid off for them during the run.
Now here's Shumpert, and that's out of bounds. Cleveland will retain possession. A different look now for Cleveland. Smith checked in for Iman Shumpert, and it's Calderon in for Thomas.
Jose Calderon. J.R. Smith.
Smith against T. Smith dishes to Green. A three-pointer off the mark. Minnesota leading by 11. Inside, here's Towns. That's good, and so Teague with the assist. 14 points for Karl Anthony Towns. Outside, Green. Again, the miss by Green. For Minnesota, they've gotten into a pretty good groove, going 6 of 10 here in the final quarter. Now the feed to Butler. Rebound by Smith. Cleveland trails by 13. Here's Calderon. And he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed.
And that lead pass allowed him to get straight to the rim, unabated, in stride.
Minnesota's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. They set the pick. Crowder with the steal. And here's the fast break. Here's Smith. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a three-point play.
Yeah, terrific play right there. Great strength to finish through the contact.
That's exactly how it should be done. Get the bump, concentrate on the shot, and you'll get the bucket too.
Now here's Butler. Passes to Towns. Rebound by Jeff Green.
He's been wayward and just off on about everything he's put up in this period.
Smith kicks to Green. 1:24 left to play in the final quarter. It's rebounded by Towns.
Well, the effort was there, but he just couldn't quite fight his way through traffic.
T kicks to Crawford. Butler against Calderon. Butler attacking, and the layup is good. Butler's got 5 points now in the quarter.
And it looks like just playing the last bit of this one out in what should be a nice win here for Minnesota.
Good point, Steve. And Clark, they had to battle for this win. There were times when it looked like it was maybe slipping away a bit, but they never let that happen, which I thought was a real credit to them.
I like their fortitude, their toughness, particularly in terms of dealing with adversity. Anytime things didn't go their way, they just put their nose down and stayed with it. And because of that, they were able to pull away.
And so the hard work and effort paying off tonight, putting another win in the books. That'll be win number 27.
And with the win approaching, they'll take the first game here of 2 that they'll play against this team. Nice to get that first one out of the way and set the tone.
It sure is. It's just a 2-gamer since they're in opposite conferences, and you can bet they'll take the same approach right into game 2 that they had tonight.
And one of the league's truly special talents making his mark. Once again, another great performance for Towns. He did all the dirty work that they needed, clearing out space underneath and securing rebounds.
Brooks kicks to T. Cannot hit. Great D that time from Green. Now here is Smith. Lets it fly from 18. Off target. So it's Minnesota winning this one easily. Some good competition, but the hometown advantage and their ability to stay focused, I think, Clark, made the difference.
Well, you know, at this stage, you've got to defend your home floor, and they did that.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan, along with our entire 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. And now, time to send it over to the award-winning Ernie Johnson for the postgame show.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
And Ernie Johnson here again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny Smith. Let's take a look at our Jordan Player of the Game.
Fan base that loves their star more than this crowd. Wow. I'm getting jealous. And he feeds off that support. Once they got behind him, he became unstoppable, man.
He shot over 50% from the field in the game, a testament to how hard he worked to always find the best look possible. He was in constant motion. He found those gaps in the D and made the most of his open looks.
And that'll do it for our broadcast tonight. Hope you enjoyed the show. For me and Ken.